everyone, we are from Group 5 and now we would like to explain about the 5th initial plans. In which in Malay we call Sri-Lanka, Malaysia to Lima, in the short form RMK Lima. This assignment is prepared by Liu Xingyan, Li Shijia, Dan Yixun and Zhang Xingyan. So we will continue to the introduction of RMK5.
Introduction. The fifth Malaysia Plan, also known as RMK5, refers to a comprehensive development plan implemented by the Malaysian government to outline its strategy, policies, and social development over a specific period. Dr. Mahathir Mohamad administration launched the fifth Malaysia Plan in 1986 and ran it from 1990 to the present. By using the formula of change the gross domestic product (GDP), it shows an increasing in the growth of gross domestic product. It increased 66.83% from the year 1986 until the year 1990. The introduction of the fifth Malaysia Plan generally includes an overview of the economic, social, and political landscape at the time of its formulation. It sets the stage for the government and the progress across various sectors. Economic development. The plan usually emphasizes economic growth, industrialization, infrastructural development, job creation, and enhancement of the business environment. It may focus on attracting investment, fostering innovation, and achieving economic stability and resilience. Social development. The fifth Malaysia's plan typically outlines strategy for social welfare, education, healthcare, poverty alleviation, housing, and community development. It may emphasize inclusivity, equity, and the well-being of citizens across different social-economic groups.
Economic directions of RMK5. The first economic directions of this Malaysia plan is to increase emphasis on research and development, which is the R&D. The financial allocations will be given for the research and development purpose, especially for the industrial research. The fiscal incentive and other incentives will also be introduced. Besides that, the steps will be taken to improve the existing facilities, including schools and botanical gardens, as well as the center to promote the continuing science education. Then the economic direction of this Malaysia plan is modernizing and establishing of the trade-based agriculture for small sector of smallholder in the agriculture sector. It is done through the present approaches of new land development, provisions of support service and social and institutional development. Then the main focus is on the human resource development, example through training, development of the services, and also the subsequent development of various rural institutions. Besides that, they also focus on the restricting resources in order to efficient utilization of the available resources. The third economic direction of Fifth Malaysia Plan is to enhance the economic developments and minimize the imports reliance through economic source diversifications and efficiency enhancement. First of all, they will pursue the energy diversification objectives by reducing the reliance on oil while increasing the role of natural gas, hydropower, and also coal. An optimal energy mix will be formulated with continued focus on the utilizations of domestic resources. For example, there will be use of the liquefied petroleum gas, which is the LPG, as a substitute to petrol that will be encouraged in the transport sector. Besides that, the economic directions of this Malaysia plan is to increase the role of private sector through the growth of the private sector investments in order to improve the economic growth. The policy and the administrative measures that related to licensing system or even the share capital investments will continue to be reviewed to attract the investment while encouraging the reinvestment from the domestic and foreign sources too. Besides that, the facilities to finance the exports and insurance will be expanded in order to attract more exporters and also include more export products. Next, the economic directions of the fifth Malaysia plan is to improve the industrial sector development, to increase its efficiency and also the competitiveness for economic growth. In this case, they will focus on the reorientations and the structural change of the manufacturing sector. There will also be the incentive system, especially tariffs, that will be reformulated to increase the competitions in the market. Then, there will also be the implementations of the trade-based incentives that can provide the exporter automatic access to the benefits specified. Besides that, the government will also upgrade the level of the industrial technology either by further adoption of foreign technologies or even developing the indigenous technologies. Then, the economic direction of Fifth Malaysia Plan is to increase the role of the public sector to improve the development of tourism sector. The public sector will more focus on three main categories, which is the development of the basic infrastructure facilities, pollution control, and also the minor tourism facilities. During the period of Fifth Malaysia Plans, there will also be some planned infrastructure and public facilities to be constructed in some specific places. For example, Pulau Tioman and Tasik Chini in Pahang. Besides that, the geographical coverage area of the tourist police unit will also be expanded as well.
Next is the policy introduced to boost economic growth. The first policy is population, labor force employment, and manpower development. Government continue to monitor closely current population trends to ensure that the target is achieved 70 million by year 2100. The development of skilled manpower will continue to receive high priority to meet the skill demand of the economy, particularly that of the industrial sector. Skill upgrading and advanced skill training will play an important role in raising the productive capacity. The second policy is the role of private sector. The growth and expansion of private sector activity facilitated the increase of Bumiputra participation in the economy. Private sector was dominant, provided increasing employment opportunity to Bumiputra as well as facilitated the employment in jobs. The private sector will continue to play its role as a contributor in meeting the target of the new economic policy. Policy is science and technology. Science and technology play a greater role in national development. This role will support of research and development in generating better efficiency. The National Council for Scientific Research and Development, as the major science policy organization, will be strengthened to provide effective intersectoral jurisdiction in planning and management. The High Technology and Strategy Program will expand the industrial capacity, will be introduced in line with the recommendation of the Industrial Master Plan. Next is agriculture and rural development. The modernization of the agriculture sector constitutes the main theme of the National Adaptation Plan. The thrust of the MAP to increase productivity, efficiency, and competitiveness in the development. The next policy is finance. Financial and sector liberalization initiative were taken to liberalize the financial sector, promoting efficiency and competitiveness. Capital market development measure were introduced to strengthen the capital market, encouraging investment and providing a platform for business to raise funds. Fiscal incentive. The government will continue to assist the industry through the provision of tax and fiscal incentive. Next is tourism. Tourism infrastructure development helps to create a better understanding of the various culture and lifestyle of the population. Marketing and promotion. The government implemented marketing and promotional campaign to increase awareness of Malaysia as a tourist destination. Cultural and heritage preservation policy were introduced to preserve and showcase Malaysia's rich cultural and historical heritage. Then is transport and communication. Expansion of public transportation were undertaken to expand and improve public transportation system. Telecommunication network enhancement. This policy were introduced to modern and expand the telecommunication network and improving connectivity across the country. Infrastructure development were made in building and upgrading transport infrastructure, including road, highway, and bridge. The last policy in manufacturing. Industrial diversification made to diversify the manufacturing base by encouraging the development. Export-oriented growth. This policy will promoting export-oriented industry and fostering international competitiveness. Skill development. This policy focus on developing a skilled workforce to meet the demand of the evolving manufacturing landscape.
Economic focus of RMK5. Regional development to achieve the optimum utilization of natural, human, and financial resources and planned urbanization of selected areas. The migration of labor from resource-poor areas to areas with relatively high potential for growth facilitates the attainment of the regional development objective. Urban development. Urban development complements the strategy for reducing the imbalance among regions and the areas. Urbanization also enables the provision of better services and facilities for the rural population in the hinterlands, thereby allowing them to enjoy a better quality of life. The private sector is expected to play the important role in the achievement of the macroeconomic targets. The Bumiputera commercial and industrial community has further expanded during the period, following continued efforts by agencies such as the Council of Trust for Indigenous People (MARA), National Productivity Center (NPC), Development Bank of Malaysia (VPMB), and other institutions involved in the program to train, develop, and promote Bumiputera entrepreneurship. Science and technology. The involved sectors are agriculture, social service, international economic environment, and so on. In the social service sector, important progress was achieved in the field of medicine and public health, resulting in decreasing incidence of deadly diseases, improved nutritional status, especially among those of school-going age, and a reduction in infant mortality. Environment. The preservation and protection of the environment against both over-exploitation of natural resources and pollution of the environment will become more important during the RMK5. The high rate of economic development, particularly in the recent decades, drew heavily on the resource base, both renewable and non-renewable, ranging from forestry, land, fossil fuel, and mineral to the most basic resource, water. Manufacturing sector. To achieve accelerate growth of the sector in an environment of increasing liberalization, competition, efficiency, human resources development, and technological advancement. For example, the food industry, electrical and electronics industry, rubber industry, petroleum and coal industry, and so on. Education and training to produce knowledgeable, trained, and skilled individuals to meet the manpower requirements as well as the growing social needs. The curriculum and core curriculum activities reviewed and reoriented to meet the objective of national integration and unity as well as manpower requirements. Health service. During the RMK5, refurbishing of existing healthcare delivery centers and institutions proceed to meet the rising requirements of the population. For example, medical and health services, rural health services, applied food and nutrition program, health manpower development and training, private medical service, and so on.
In conclusion, the fifth Malaysia Plan laid out a comprehensive strategy that contributed to Malaysia's economic transformation and development during the late 1980s. Furthermore, RMK5 laid the groundwork for Malaysia's technological advancement, encouraging innovation and technology adoption across various industries. It focused on economic diversification, poverty alleviation, human capital development, infrastructure enhancement, and environmental sustainability marked a significant step towards Malaysia's aspiration for progress and advancement as a modern nation.